Welcome back. It's time now for Media Watch here on France 24. Nicholas Rushworth joins me here in the studio. Hi there, Nicholas. You're going to be telling us what's buzzing online, and we're going to start by talking about Gérard Depardieu.
Well, the French actor has been making waves, hasn't he? Literally almost, because he's so huge, of course. But he's been making waves with his decision to go over to Belgium and take tax residency status there to avoid a 75% tax ban, which comes into force on the 1st of January here in France. So if you earn over €1 million, Tom, you are really hammered by the tax man. And what currently Gérard Depardieu is not in Belgium, but he's actually in Rome. The Daily Mail has got this story, which is being taken up by a lot of papers. There you can see him. He's arriving in Rome. And what do we see? He's actually in a wheelchair. You can see how ginormous he is. He looks in a very bad state there, and he has a real problem getting out of the wheelchair. And why? There's no explanation actually in the newspaper itself, except obviously my feeling was, well, you know, he's playing that role in the Asterix series, so he has to put on a lot of weight for that movie. So is that is the sheer weight is like pressing on his bones or what? I don't know, but that's being picked up a lot by the world press as this in the last few hours.
That's just outside Fiumicino Airport in Rome. I can recognise that one. Now, he says he pays 85% tax as it is, and he's not going to fork out any more than that. Sounds like quite a lot of tax to be paying anyway, and quite a lot of celebrities seem to be supporting him.
Well, we've had Brigitte Bardot come out and defend him, and the latest person to do so is another massive French acting icon. There you can see Catherine Deneuve herself. She's defended Depardieu in a tax row, and that piece is actually from the South China Morning Post, so it's a world story. Catherine Deneuve wrote a letter to Libération on the front page there. You can see she has a picture of her, and she writes just 3 paragraphs in Libération today, Friday, saying, well, it's a disgrace. You know, people shouldn't be criticizing him for his size, for his decision, and he basically has the right to do as he likes. And the statement by French politicians that it is pathetic, his decision to leave, is just not suitable, is not worthy of men of state. So a reference there to the Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault, who called Depardieu's decision pathetic. Also in Libération, her piece, her 3 paragraphs, she actually quotes more or less Voltaire, and saying, well, you know, I actually defend his right to the death to do as he likes. I may not agree with his ideas, but I defend his right to pursue them.
Sounds like Catherine Deneuve's a friend indeed. Now, we're going to, we can almost breathe a sigh of relief, can't we? Because the Mayans said the doomsday of the world was, in fact, today, and it doesn't quite seem to have happened.
Well, there's a little bit of time, but so far so bad as far as that prophecy is going. And of course, there are 1,000,001 things you can say about this. I think my personal thought is talk about overkill as a kind of funky anecdotal story. This doomsday story has run and run. Now, there are tons of things out there on the web. I loved this on the website Le Nouvel Obs, and it shows a guy sitting at his window there forlornly with his popcorn, his tub of popcorn, and he's saying, you know, when's it all going to happen? When does the show begin? You know, I've been waiting for this for quite a while. Now, another French take on this I also loved, again in Le Nouvel Obs, is actually really funny, and it's actually a philosopher who does a kind of rap of what philosophers would think of this whole doomsday fest we've been having in the last few days and weeks. And there it's actually a piece on what Immanuel Kant would have thought. And the basic argument is that this whole obsession with prophecies of doom is actually very narcissistic and egocentric. And there's a kind of suicide fantasy, an unconscious suicide fantasy underpinning it. So I thought that was a kind of brilliant piece, because you wouldn't really find that kind of philosopher's rap angle in kind of English language papers very much, I don't think.
No, hard to imagine. Although there isn't apparently a word for phobia that is a specific phobia about the end of the world, and it's so long that I can't actually pronounce it. Now, you've brought into the discussion already Depardieu, we've had Catherine Deneuve, we've had Voltaire, and just then Kant, where on earth are we going to go to from here?
Well, from those four things, why not a bit of zeitgeist? And actually, with that zeitgeist, nothing better than Gangnam Style, which in the last few hours has got 1 billion hits on YouTube. So it's either makes you go crazy. Even there, you can see Barack Obama is in on the act. He's actually doing the Gangnam Style dance to embarrass his daughters. During the last few hours, there's actually been a countdown on YouTube, which is the moment by moment. In 8 seconds, it'll be 1 billion. And of course, you either love it or hate it at this point. How many times have you visited, Dom?
I've seen it once. That was enough.
I've done it about 10 times.
Oh, right,
and
you just added to it again.
There you can see the countdown. We're into the billion now. And that little clip from YouTube actually made me think, well, actually, we're going to go to the 2 billion here. So it's all way out of the proportion and over the top. So what better to do than actually listen to a bit of the video itself with Psy singing the lyrics that we don't actually really understand, but we do love the visuals. And it'd be good to just watch that.
Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady. Oppan Gangnam Style. Hey, sexy lady.
So you've got to do it.
Calm down. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not playing that game. But I can see why you've been downloading it quite so many times now. You're clearly quite a fan. Psy, you have a fan here in Paris. His name is Nick Rushworth. Thank you very much indeed. That was Media Watch. Well, still to come here on France 24, our daily check of what's making waves online. Web news starts right now.